They poured beer on me for fun, until my Mafia fiancé stood up from the next table. The beer is cold when it hits my skull, a shock of liquid ice that steals my breath before my brain catches up to what's happening. It pours down my face in a cascade that smells like hops and humiliation, soaking through my white button-down until it clings to my skin, dripping onto the polished hardwood floor of Marcello's steakhouse in fat, unforgiving drops. The pitcher clatters onto table 12, empty now, and the sound echoes in the sudden silence that swallows the dining room whole. I stand frozen, arms still extended from placing the replacement steak. The one I brought without complaint, even though they ordered it well done, and ate half before deciding it was too done. And for a moment, I'm outside my body, watching this happen to someone else. Watching Natalia Rossi, 24 years old, 6 years of waitressing experience, 3 months from her culinary school deposit deadline, get drenched in Stella Artois by 3 men in suits that cost more than my rent. The laughter starts a beat later. Sharp, bright, the kind that cuts. Oh shit, Ryan, you actually did it. The one on the left, blonde frat boy face aged into Wall Street entitlement, slaps the table, gasping. You said you would, but I didn't think. For fun, sweetheart. Ryan, the ringleader, leans back in his chair, arms spread wide like he's accepting applause. He's got dark hair slicked back with too much product, a Rolex that catches the light, and a smile that makes my stomach turn. You looked so serious. Thought you needed to loosen up. My hands are shaking. Mascara stings my eyes, the waterproof kind that apparently isn't beer-proof, and I can feel it tracking down my cheeks in twin rivers of black. My hair, the neat bun I pinned this morning with bobby pins I counted out because they're expensive, is plastered to my neck and forehead. Beer drips from my chin, my elbows, the hem of my apron. The dining room is a theater now, every table turned toward us. 50 pairs of eyes and a dozen phones already out, recording. I hear the shutter click of cameras, the low murmur of commentary. Someone laughs, a high nervous trill from the bar area. Someone else gasps, but no one moves. No one stops this. I should say something. I should walk away. I should do anything but stand here dripping and silent while Ryan's friends, the third one with glasses and a tie he's already loosened, lean into each other, grinning like this is the best Friday night they've had in months. But I can't move. My body has locked down, some animal part of my brain deciding that stillness is survival, that if I don't react, maybe this will stop being real. Maybe the floor will stop tilting. Maybe I'll stop feeling like I'm 14 again, standing in front of my 8th grade class after someone stuck a kick me sign to my back, and the whole room laughed while I just stood there, small and powerless and wishing I could disappear. Natalia. My manager's voice cuts through the noise, low and tight. Frank's at the edge of the dining room, hands on his hips, face red. He's not looking at Ryan, he's looking at me. Break room now! Not are you okay? Not I'll handle this. Just an order. Like I'm the problem that needs to be removed so the rest of the night can continue without disruption. Ryan raises his glass, the one he didn't pour over my head, in a mock toast. Sorry about that, sweetheart. No hard feelings, right? Just a little joke between friends. I'm not his friend. I open my mouth, but nothing comes out. My throat is closed, my tongue thick and useless. I should tell him to go to hell. I should demand an apology. I should do what I always do. Stand up for myself, fight back. Prove I'm not someone you get to treat like a punchline. But I can't, because the whole room is watching. And my shirt is see-through now. And I can feel the weight of my own smallness pressing down on me like a physical thing. And all I want is to run. The newspaper crumples. It's a small sound, barely audible over the murmur of the dining room. But I hear it. I've spent 6 months learning to hear it. That specific rustle of newsprint folding in on itself. The edge of control fraying in a man who never lets anything fray. Dante Caruso has been sitting in the corner booth every Friday night since March. Same time, same order, rare ribeye, no sides, espresso after. He reads the Times in Italian, the international edition he has delivered to his office and brings folded under his arm. And he never looks up. Never draws attention. He's just another customer in an expensive suit. Dark hair pushed back, jaw sharp enough to cut glass, occupying space the way men with power do. Effortlessly. Except he's not just another customer. He's my fiancé. Secret because I insisted. Because when Dante Caruso asked me to marry him 6 months ago in his penthouse with the city lights spread out like offerings behind him, I said yes, but only if I got to keep this. My job, my independence, my right to prove I'm not just another pretty thing a powerful man collected because he could. He agreed. He promised to respect my choice, to let me build my own life even though he could hand me anything I wanted on a silver platter. And he's kept that promise, sitting in his corner booth every Friday, reading his paper, watching me work without interference. A silent guardian I pretended not to need, but relied on more than I'd admit. Until now. The newspaper hits the table with a flat slap. Dante stands and the air in the room changes. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. He doesn't shout or slam his chair or do anything that would telegraph violence. He just unfolds himself from the booth, all 6'3" of him, and starts walking. 5 strides. That's all it takes to cross the dining room. 5 strides and the space between us collapses, and suddenly Dante is there, close enough that I can smell sandalwood and bergamot, close enough that his presence blocks out Ryan, the cameras, the crowd. He doesn't touch me, not yet. He just looks at me, and his eyes, dark brown, almost black in this light, do something I've seen 100 times in private but never in public. They soften. Just for a second, just long enough for me to see the man beneath the legend, the one who makes me breakfast on Sundays and memorizes the way I take my coffee and holds me when I wake up from bad dreams. Then he turns to Ryan, and the softness is gone. Apologize to my fiancé. His voice is quiet, controlled, the kind of calm that precedes storms. Now, the room goes silent. Not the held-breath silence from before, but something deeper, colder. The kind of silence that happens when everyone realizes they've miscalculated, that the night has just tipped from amusing into dangerous. Ryan blinks. His smile falters, then returns uncertain. You're what? My fiancé. Dante steps closer, one hand reaching out to grip the back of Ryan's chair. Not his collar, not his throat, just the chair, a casual touch that makes Ryan flinch anyway. The woman you just humiliated for your entertainment, apologize. Dude, Ryan glances at his friends, looking for backup, but they've gone still, eyes wide. The one with glasses is staring at Dante like he's trying to place him, and I see the moment recognition hits. The way his face drains of color, the way he sinks back in his seat like he's trying to become invisible. It's not a request. Dante's voice drops lower, intimate, the way he talks in bed when he's telling me exactly what he's going to do to me, except now it's a threat, precise and unambiguous. Apologize, or I remove your ability to speak, permanently. 2 men in suits appear at the exits. I didn't see them come in, but they're there now, hands folded in front of them, blocking the doors. Dante's men, the ones who follow him everywhere but stay invisible until they're needed. They're needed now. Ryan swallows. His bravado cracks, crumbles. I'm sorry. I didn't mean... You meant it. Dante's grip tightens on the chair, knuckles white. You thought she was beneath you. Thought you could humiliate her because she's serving you, because you have money and she has a job. You thought wrong. Dante. My voice comes out hoarse, barely a whisper. I don't know what I'm asking for. Don't stop, or please don't do this here. Or maybe just stay. He looks at me again, and this time he does touch me. One hand comes up to my chin, tilting my face toward his, gentle despite the rage I can feel vibrating through him like a current. His thumb brushes my cheek, wiping away a streak of mascara. We're leaving, amore. He shrugs out of his suit jacket, charcoal gray, Tom Ford, still warm from his body, and drapes it around my shoulders. It swallows me, heavy and safe and smelling like him. You never work here again. I need this job, I start. But he's already guiding me toward the door. One hand at the small of my back, the other holding his phone to his ear. Marta, I need a car at Marcello's in 2 minutes. And get Frank on the line. He's going to want to hear what I have to say about how he handles his staff. He doesn't raise his voice. Doesn't have to. Marta's been his assistant for a decade. She knows when he's serious. Frank appears, jogging from the kitchen, apron still on. Mr. Caruso, please, if I'd known she was... You'd have done what? Protected her because she belongs to me? Dante stops, turns, and Frank actually stumbles back a step. She deserved protection because she's a human being doing her job. You failed her. That's on you. We're outside before I realize we've moved, the cool April air hitting my soaked skin and making me shiver. Dante pulls me closer, wrapping an arm around my shoulders, blocking the wind with his body. A black town car pulls up to the curb, smooth and silent. The driver gets out, opens the back door, doesn't ask questions. Dante helps me in, slides in beside me, and the door shuts with a soft click that seals us away from the world. I'm shaking now, full-body tremors that I can't control. The adrenaline is crashing, leaving me hollow and cold and so tired. Breathe, Talia. Dante's voice is soft again. Just for me. He pulls me against his chest, one hand cradling the back of my head, the other rubbing slow circles on my back. Just breathe. I've got you, I breathe. In for 4, out for 4, the way he taught me during my first panic attack. The night I told him about my father and the drinking and the years of walking on eggshells waiting for the next explosion. You shouldn't have done that, I whisper into his shirt. It's going to be soaked now too. Beer and tears and whatever's left of my mascara. I wanted to handle it myself. You did handle it. You stood there with dignity while a room full of people laughed. That takes more strength than anything I did. His hand tightens in my hair, just enough to ground me. But I'm your partner, Talia. When someone harms you, they answer to me. That's not negotiable. I just wanted to prove I could do this. That I wasn't... My voice cracks. And I hate it, hate that I'm crying again. Hate that I feel small and weak, and exactly like the girl they tried to make me. You're not a trophy. Dante tilts my face up, his eyes fierce. You're the strongest person I know. You worked 2 jobs when you could ask me for anything. You put yourself through school, took care of your mother when she was sick, built a life from nothing because you refused to be defined by where you started. I don't love you because you're mine. I love you because you're yours. And anyone who treats you like less than that will learn what it costs. The car pulls up to his building. Our building, technically, though I've only stayed over on weekends, stubborn about keeping my own place. The doorman opens the door, takes one look at me, and doesn't comment. I appreciate that more than he knows. By the time we're in the elevator, I've stopped shaking. Dante keeps his arm around me anyway, solid and steady and patient. He doesn't try to fill the silence. He just holds me while the city drops away below us, while we rise toward the penthouse and whatever comes after this. The doors open directly into his apartment, a security feature he insisted on, because men like Dante don't do shared hallways. I step onto the dark hardwood, and he locks the elevator behind us, another layer of safety between me and the world. Shower, he says, guiding me toward the master bathroom. I'll bring you something to wear, I should argue. I should insist I'm fine, that I don't need to be taken care of, that I can handle this on my own. But I'm tired, bone-deep and soul-weary, and the thought of standing under hot water until I stop smelling like beer sounds like the best idea I've heard in hours. The bathroom is all marble and glass, ridiculously luxurious, the kind of space that still makes me uncomfortable because it's so far from the cramped apartment I grew up in. But the shower is good. The shower makes sense. I peel off my soaked clothes, drop them in a heap that I'll probably throw away later, because I don't think I can ever wear that shirt again without feeling Ryan's laughter crawling over my skin. The water's hot enough to sting, and I stand under it until my skin turns pink, scrubbing shampoo through my hair 3 times, washing away beer and humiliation and the weight of 50 stares. When I finally turn off the water, there's a towel warming on the rack and one of Dante's t-shirts folded on the counter. It's soft, worn thin, and it smells like him. I pull it on and it hits mid-thigh, comfortable and safe. He's in the kitchen when I come out, barefoot on the cold tile, staring at his phone with an expression that makes my stomach drop. What happened? I ask, even though I'm not sure I want to know. He looks up, and something in his face eases. Nothing yet, but it will. Dante, they put their hands on you, Talia. They degraded you in front of a crowd for fun. There are consequences for that. He sets the phone down, crosses to me, cups my face in both hands. I'm not going to apologize for protecting you. I know. I do know. I knew when I said yes to him, when I agreed to wear the ring currently sitting in a box in his nightstand because I wasn't ready to make us public. I knew that loving Dante Caruso meant accepting that he solves problems the way men in his world solve problems, thoroughly, and with a message that ensures they don't happen again. I just didn't think it would happen like this. Didn't think I'd be the reason he stepped out of the shadows, the catalyst for whatever's coming next. I'm scared, I admit. Not of you. Of what this means. For us. For everything. It means we stop hiding. He presses his forehead to mine, breathing me in. It means the world knows you're mine, and I'm yours, and anyone who wants to hurt you has to go through me first. That's all it means. I kiss him then, because I need to feel something other than shame, because he makes me feel powerful, even when I'm standing in his kitchen in his t-shirt with my hair dripping onto his floor. He kisses me back, soft and careful, like I'm something precious that might break. I pull away first, my hands on his chest. I'm not broken. I know. I'm angry. You should be. And I'm exhausted. Then let's go to bed. He takes my hand, laces our fingers together. Tomorrow we'll figure out the rest. Tomorrow. When the video goes viral. When the world learns that Dante Caruso has a fiancé. When everything I tried to keep separate collides in a way I can't control. But tonight, I let him lead me to bed. Let him pull back the covers and tuck me in like I'm something worth caring for. Let him wrap himself around me, a shield against the dark. And I fall asleep to the steady rhythm of his heartbeat, the safest sound I know. I wake to sunlight streaming through windows I forgot to close and the smell of espresso. For a moment, I'm disoriented. The bed is too big, the sheets too soft, the ceiling too high. And then I remember. Beer. Laughter. Dante's hand on my chin. I sit up, scrubbing my hands over my face. My head aches. A dull throb behind my eyes that might be dehydration, or the aftermath of crying, or both. The t-shirt I borrowed is twisted around my waist, and when I check the time on the nightstand clock, it's past 9. I never sleep past 7, not even on days off. Dante's side of the bed is empty but still warm. He hasn't been up long. I find him on the balcony, leaning against the railing with a cup of espresso in one hand and his phone in the other, scrolling through something that makes his jaw tick. He's wearing dark jeans and a white button-down, sleeves rolled to his elbows, barefoot like me, casual, domestic, almost normal, if you ignore the city spread out 40 floors below us. Morning, I say, sliding the door open. He looks up, and his face does that thing it always does when he sees me first thing in the morning. Softens at the edges, like I'm a sunrise he wasn't expecting. Morning, amore. Coffee's on the counter. Made it the way you like. 3/4 espresso, 1/4 steamed milk, no sugar. He's been making it that way since our second date. When I told him the only thing I missed about working at a coffee shop was access to a decent machine. I pour myself a cup, add the milk from the frother he left warming, and join him outside. The air is cool, spring trying to decide if it's ready to commit to warmth, and I wrap both hands around the mug for heat. What are you reading? He hesitates, then turns the phone toward me. It's the video. Of course it's the video. Someone posted it last night, probably within minutes of it happening, and it's everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. The headline on the article he's reading, Wall Street broas pour beer on waitress for fun, get confronted by fiancé. I watch myself stand there, frozen and dripping, watch Ryan laugh, watch Dante cross the room like an avenging angel. The comments are a mix of outrage and support, people calling for the men to be fired, others praising Dante for stepping in. A few are criticizing me. Why didn't she fight back? Why did she just stand there? And those are the ones that make my stomach churn. It has 12 million views, Dante says quietly. And it's still climbing. 12 million people watched me get humiliated. 12 million strangers saw the worst moment of my week, maybe my year, and turned it into entertainment. I want to throw up. Don't. He takes the phone back, sets it on the small table beside his espresso. You didn't do anything wrong, Talia. They did. And now the whole world knows it. The whole world knows I'm dating a Mafia boss. I laugh, sharp and bitter. That's going to be great for my culinary school applications. Hi, I'm Natalia Rossi, and my fiancé solves problems with broken bones. He solves problems, Dante corrects, his voice even. Sometimes that involves broken bones. Sometimes it involves lawyers and paperwork and phone calls to people who owe me favors. Depends on the problem. Which one is Ryan? Both. I look at him. He meets my gaze, steady and unapologetic. What did you do? What I needed to. He leans back against the railing, crossing his arms. Ryan and his friends left Marcello's around midnight. They went to a bar in Tribeca, had a few more drinks, got loud. At some point, they left the bar and ended up in an alley. That's where things get unclear. My heart is pounding. Unclear how? They woke up in the hospital this morning. Ryan has 3 broken ribs and a dislocated shoulder. His friend with the glasses, Tyler, has a concussion and a broken nose. The blonde one, Chase, got off easy. Just bruises. Dante's expression doesn't change. Calm as if he's recounting the weather. They don't remember how they got there. The last thing they remember is being at the bar. Security footage from the bar is corrupted. No witnesses have come forward. Dante. My voice is barely a whisper. They learned a lesson, Talia. Gently, considering. He steps closer, cupping my face the way he did last night. I respect you. I respect your choices, your independence, your right to build your own life. But I do not respect men who degrade you for entertainment. They hurt you. I made sure they understood that was a mistake. I should be horrified. I should pull away, tell him this isn't okay, that violence doesn't solve anything. But I'm not horrified. I'm relieved. And that scares me more than anything. I wanted to prove I could handle myself, I say, the words catching in my throat. That I didn't need you to fight my battles. You did handle yourself. You stood there with dignity while a room full of people laughed. You didn't cry until you were safe. You held your head up and walked out on your terms. His thumb brushes my cheek, tender despite the steel in his voice. But you're not alone anymore, Talia. You have me. And when someone harms you, they answer to me. That's not negotiable. That's not me disrespecting your strength. That's me being your partner. What if I don't want that? What if I don't want to be the reason you... I can't finish the sentence. Can't say hurt people or break the law or become the thing everyone says you are. Then tell me. His hands drop from my face, but he doesn't step back. Tell me you want me to stand down, and I will. I'll call my lawyer, file charges through legal channels, let the system handle it. I won't like it, but I'll do it, because your choices matter more to me than my pride. I stare at him. This man who terrifies half the city but makes me breakfast on Sundays. Who runs an empire built on fear and loyalty but holds me like I'm made of glass. Who just put 3 men in the hospital for humiliating me and is now offering to walk it back if I ask. I don't know what I want, I admit. I hate that they hurt me. I hate that I froze. I hate that I felt small and powerless and like I was back in 8th grade with everyone laughing. But I also hate that you had to step in. That I couldn't. You did everything right. His voice is fierce now, urgent. You survived. You got through it. That's enough, Talia. You don't have to be a warrior every second of every day. You're allowed to need someone. The words hit something deep inside me. A knot I've been carrying since I was 9 years old. And my father left. And my mother told me, we're on our own now, baby. We have to be strong. I've been strong. I've been strong for 15 years, working since I was old enough to lie about my age, taking care of my mother through chemo, putting myself through community college, building a life from nothing, because I refuse to be a statistic. But I'm so tired of being strong alone. Okay. I whisper. Okay? Okay. I step into him, pressing my face against his chest, feeling his arms come around me immediately. I don't like it. I don't like that you hurt them, but I'm not going to ask you to undo it. I'm going to sit with it. That's fair. He kisses the top of my head, and I feel him relax, just slightly. And for what it's worth, they'll recover. I didn't take anything permanent, just made sure they think twice before they treat another waitress like a joke. We stand there for a long time. The city waking up around us, and I let myself be held. By Monday, the video has 20 million views and Ryan's trying to sue. I'm at Dante's kitchen island, scrolling through legal documents his lawyer sent over, when Marta calls. I put her on speaker because I'm elbow deep in flour, stress baking focaccia because it's the only thing keeping me from spiraling. They're claiming assault, Marta says, her voice brisk and matter-of-fact. Ryan's lawyer filed this morning. They're saying Dante threatened them at the restaurant and then orchestrated an attack later that night. Can they prove it? I ask, punching down the dough harder than necessary. No, but they're betting they don't have to. Public opinion is on your side right now, but if this goes to trial, they'll drag you both through the mud. Dante's history, your relationship, everything. Dante walks in from his office, phone to his ear, and raises an eyebrow at the speaker. I mouth Marta, and he nods, ending his call. Options? He asks, leaning against the counter. Settle quietly. Pay them off, make it go away, or fight it and risk exposure. Marta pauses. There's a third option. They offered Talia a deal. My hand's still in the dough. What kind of deal? Testify that Dante threatened you, that you felt coerced into the relationship. They'll drop the case and pay you $100,000. The kitchen goes silent except for the hum of the refrigerator. They want me to lie, I say slowly. They want me to say Dante forced me into this. Yes. I look at Dante. His face is carefully blank, but I can see the tension in his shoulders, the way his jaw tightens. He's waiting for me to decide, and he's terrified I'll take it. Tell them no, I say. Talia, Marta starts. Tell them no, and tell them if they contact me again, I'm filing harassment charges, and send me the name of their lawyer. I want it on record that they tried to bribe me into perjury. Marta's quiet for a moment, then. You're sure? Positive. All right. I'll handle it. Dante, I'll have the recording ready within the hour. She hangs up, and I go back to kneading, working the dough until my forearms burn. You could have taken the money, Dante says quietly. And say what? That you threatened me? That I'm some helpless victim who needs saving from the big bad Mafia boss? I shape the dough into a rough rectangle, slap it onto a baking sheet. I'm not doing that. Not for 100,000. Not for 1,000,000. It would have been easier. Easier isn't always right. I wash my hands, dry them on a towel, turn to face him. I love you. Not your money, not your power. You. The man who sits in a corner booth just to be near me, who makes me coffee before I wake up, who held me while I cried last night and didn't try to fix it. Just let me feel it. I cross to him, take his face in my hands. I'm not leaving. I'm not betraying you. We're partners, remember? For better or worse. We're not married yet, he points out, but he's smiling now, small and fragile and real. Then we better fix that soon, because I'm not going anywhere. He kisses me, deep and grateful and a little desperate, and I kiss him back until the oven timer goes off, and I have to pull away to check the focaccia. By the time the bread is done, Marta's sent over the recording equipment and instructions. I set up my phone in the living room, hit record, and tell the truth. My name is Natalia Rossi. I'm 24 years old. I've been engaged to Dante Caruso for 6 months, and it was my choice. No one forced me. No one coerced me. I asked to keep working because I wanted to prove to myself that I could build something on my own terms. And he respected that. The men who poured beer on me hurt me, humiliated me, and I'm glad Dante stepped in. I'm glad he protected me, and I'm not going to lie about our relationship to make their lawsuit easier. If anyone has questions, they can ask me directly. But the answer will always be the same. I choose him. Every day, and no amount of money will change that. I send the video to Marta, post it to my private social media accounts, and then I make Dante sit down and eat focaccia with me while we wait for the fallout. It doesn't take long. The video goes viral within 6 hours. Not the beer video. That's still circulating, climbing toward 30 million views. But mine. The one where I look directly into the camera with no makeup, hair still damp from the shower, and tell the world that I choose Dante Caruso, that no one forced me, that I'm not a victim. The comments are split. Half the internet thinks I'm brave. The other half thinks I'm brainwashed, suffering from Stockholm Syndrome, too naive to see I'm being manipulated by a dangerous man. Someone starts a thread analyzing my body language, pointing out the way my hands shake slightly when I talk about the beer incident, claiming it's proof I'm traumatized and not thinking clearly. I close the app and make more bread. By Tuesday morning, the lawsuit is dropped. Ryan's lawyer releases a statement citing insufficient evidence and a desire to move forward. No mention of the bribery attempt, no acknowledgement that they tried to buy my testimony. Just a clean exit that makes them look reasonable, and us look vindictive. Dante's in his office when I bring him the news, standing at the window with his hands in his pockets, staring at the city like it owes him an explanation. They dropped it, I say, leaning against the door frame. He doesn't turn around. I know. Marta called 10 minutes ago. Are you going to tell me what made them change their minds? Does it matter? I cross the room, come to stand beside him at the window. From here, the city looks clean, orderly, a grid of streets and buildings that make sense from a distance. Up close, I know it's chaos. People and traffic and a million small disasters happening every second. But from here, it's manageable, controlled. It matters if you did something that's going to come back on you later, I say carefully. He finally looks at me, and there's something tired in his expression, a weight I haven't seen before. Their lawyer received a call from someone who explained in detail the consequences of pursuing a fraudulent case. No threats, just facts. He's a smart man. He understood. That's it. That's it. He reaches for my hand, laces our fingers together. I'm not going to lie to you, Talia. I used my influence. I made calls. I reminded people that I have a long memory, and I don't forget when someone tries to hurt what's mine. But I didn't touch them, didn't threaten them, just made it clear that continuing down this path would be unwise. I should probably feel something about this. Guilt, unease, the sense that I'm complicit in something I can't quite define. But mostly I'm just relieved. Okay, I say, and squeeze his hand. Okay? Okay. I lean my head against his shoulder. I'm tired of fighting this, Dante. I'm tired of defending us to people who've already made up their minds. Let's just move forward. Figure out what comes next. What comes next is culinary school. The check arrives Wednesday afternoon, delivered by courier to Dante's penthouse. It's made out to the Institute of Culinary Education for the exact amount of one semester's tuition, plus fees, plus a deposit for the professional knife set they require all students to purchase. I stare at it for a full minute, sitting at the kitchen island with the envelope open in front of me. It's a loan, Dante says from the stove, where he's making carbonara because I taught him how, and now he insists on making it every Wednesday. You pay me back on whatever terms you want. 10 years, 20, whenever. No interest. Dante, or you don't pay me back, and we call it an investment in my future wife's career. He doesn't look at me, focused on tempering the eggs. Either way, you're going to school. You've been talking about it for 2 years, and you're not putting it off anymore because of pride. It's not pride. It's pride. Now he does look at me, spatula in hand, expression gentle. And I love that about you. I love that you want to earn everything yourself, that you don't take shortcuts, that you'd rather work yourself to exhaustion than accept help. But this isn't charity, amore. This is me investing in your dream because I believe in you. Because I want to eat in restaurants that brag about having you in their kitchen. Because watching you cook makes me happy, and I want you to be happy doing it. My throat is tight. What if I fail? You won't, but what if I do? Then you'll try again, and I'll be here, making mediocre carbonara, and reminding you that one setback doesn't define you. He turns off the stove, comes around the island, takes my face in his hands. Take the money, Talia, go to school. Let me do this one thing for you. I take the check. I deposit it that afternoon. I start classes in 2 weeks. Marcello's calls on Thursday. The manager, not Frank, who was apparently let go the day after the incident, offers me my job back with a raise and a formal apology from the ownership. They've implemented new policies about how staff handle difficult customers, including a zero-tolerance policy for harassment. They want me to come back, be the face of their commitment to employee dignity. I tell them no. I appreciate the offer, I say, standing in Dante's kitchen with the phone on speaker, because he insisted on being part of the conversation. But I'm moving forward. I'm starting culinary school and I don't have time to waitress anymore. There's a pause on the other end. Then, we could offer you a position in the kitchen. Apprentice. You'd work with Chef Lorenzo, learn from one of the best in Brooklyn. I glance at Dante. He shrugs. Leaving it up to me. Can I think about it? Of course. But Natalia, we really are sorry. What happened to you was unacceptable, and we should have protected you. We want to do better. I'll think about it, I say again, and hang up. Dante plates the carbonara, slides a bowl toward me, waits until I've taken a bite before asking, "What are you thinking?" I'm thinking it's a good opportunity. Chef Lorenzo trained in Rome. He's won awards. Learning from him would be... I pause, twirling pasta on my fork. It would be amazing, but I don't know if I can walk back into that restaurant without feeling like I'm that girl again. The one standing there dripping beer, frozen and powerless. I set down my fork. Does that make me weak? No, his voice is firm, absolute. It makes you human. Trauma doesn't disappear just because the circumstances change. If you're not ready to go back, don't. There are other kitchens, other chefs. You don't owe them your healing process. I pick up my fork again, take another bite. The carbonara is perfect, creamy and rich, the guanciale crispy, the pepper sharp. He's gotten good at this. I'll think about it, I say finally, but I'm leaning toward no. Then no it is. The engagement goes public on Friday, 1 week after the incident. Not because we announce it, because a tabloid gets a photo of me wearing the ring. I put it on Thursday night without really thinking about it. Dante and I are on the couch, watching a cooking competition show, and arguing about whether the contestant should have made a risotto in 20 minutes. And I'm playing with the ring box he keeps on the side table, flipping it open and closed while I talk. At some point, I slide the ring on, a simple platinum band with a single diamond, elegant and understated, exactly what I would have chosen if he'd asked, and I don't take it off. He notices immediately. His hand covers mine, thumb brushing over the ring, and he doesn't say anything. Just looks at me with an expression that makes my chest ache. "I'm ready," I whisper. "I'm ready for people to know. You're sure?" "I'm sure." The photo shows up Saturday morning. Me and Dante leaving a coffee shop in Brooklyn, his arm around my shoulders, the ring visible on my left hand as I hold a latte. The headline, Mafia boss Dante Caruso engaged to viral waitress Natalia Rossi. My phone explodes. Texts from friends I haven't talked to in months. Messages from reporters requesting interviews. DMs from strangers offering congratulations or warnings or outright hostility. Someone sends me a link to a Reddit thread analyzing whether I'm a gold digger or genuinely in love. Another link goes to a TikTok compilation of people reacting to the engagement news, split between AW, that's romantic, and she's going to end up dead. I turn off my phone and make focaccia. Dante finds me in the kitchen an hour later. Flour in my hair, hands deep in olive oil and dough. "Talk to me," he says, leaning against the counter. I don't know what to say. I press my thumbs into the dough, making dimples. I knew it would be big news. I knew people would have opinions. I just didn't expect it to feel so invasive. Like everyone thinks they have a right to weigh in on my life. They don't. I know, but they're doing it anyway. I drizzle more olive oil, sprinkle rosemary and sea salt. Someone sent me a message saying I'm betraying working-class women by marrying into wealth. Another person said I should be ashamed for associating with a criminal. And then there's a whole contingent arguing about whether you're actually dangerous or just misunderstood, like you're a character in a TV show and not a real person. What do you think? His voice is quiet, careful. I look up at him. This man who terrifies half the city but makes me breakfast and holds me when I have nightmares, and respects my boundaries even when it costs him. I think you're both. Dangerous and good, ruthless and kind. You hurt people who hurt the people you love, and you don't apologize for it. But you also donate to food banks and fund scholarships and visit your grandmother every Sunday. I wipe my hands on a towel, cross to him. I think you're complicated. And I'm okay with complicated. He pulls me close, presses his lips to my forehead. I don't deserve you. Probably not. But you're stuck with me anyway. The dead roses arrive on Sunday. I'm at Dante's penthouse. Our penthouse, technically. Since I've been staying here full-time since the incident, making coffee when the doorman calls up. "Ms. Rossi, there's a delivery for you. Should I send it up?" "What kind of delivery?" A pause. "Flowers, ma'am. But I think you should come down." Dante's in the shower. I throw on jeans and a sweater, take the elevator down, and the moment I step into the lobby, I smell it. The sickly sweet rot of dead flowers. The bouquet is massive, 24 roses that might have been red once but are now blackened and wilting, petals falling off in clumps. They're wrapped in black paper, tied with a ribbon that has a card attached. The doorman looks uncomfortable. I can dispose of them if you'd like, ma'am. No, I need to see the card. He hands it to me carefully, like it might bite. The card is simple, printed in block letters. Congratulations on your engagement. Some unions don't last. My hands are shaking. I read it twice, then flip it over. Nothing on the back. Who delivered this? A courier service, ma'am. I can get you their information, but do it. And pull the security footage from the last hour. My voice sounds distant, clinical. Send everything to Dante's head of security. I take the flowers upstairs. Dante's out of the shower, dressed in jeans and a black t-shirt, and the moment he sees my face, he's moving. What happened? I hand him the card. His expression goes cold, flat, the way it does when he's calculating how to eliminate a threat. Marconi, he says quietly. How do you know? Because I humiliated Enzo last year over a territory dispute. He backed down, but men like him don't forget. He pulls out his phone, makes a call. Marco, I need eyes on the Marconi family. Talia received a threat this morning. Yes, now. He hangs up, then cups my face. You're not going anywhere alone until we know what this is. Dante, I can't live like that. I have school starting in 2 weeks. Then you'll have security. Marco or one of his men. Someone who can stay close without being obvious. His thumb brushes my cheek. I'm not negotiating this, amore. Someone threatened you. That's not acceptable. I want to argue. I want to insist I can take care of myself. That I don't need a bodyguard. That this is probably just a prank from someone who saw the engagement news and decided to be cruel. But the roses smell like death, and the card's message is too specific, too pointed. This isn't random. Okay, I whisper. But I picked the bodyguard. I'm not walking around with some guy in a suit following me everywhere. Fair. You can interview them this afternoon. I end up choosing Elena, a woman in her early 30s with military experience and a concealed carry permit who promises she can blend into a culinary school environment without drawing attention. She's practical, straightforward, and when I ask her what she'll do if someone tries to hurt me, she looks me dead in the eye and says, they won't get the chance. I like her immediately. By Monday, there have been 3 more incidents. A fake health inspector shows up at Dante's flagship restaurant, claiming violations that don't exist and trying to shut down the kitchen during dinner service. Anonymous. Calls to the liquor board accusing the same restaurant of serving minors, and a brick through the window of Dante's office building with a note. Watch your back. Dante doesn't tell me about the brick until I overhear him on the phone with his lawyer. Why didn't you say anything? I ask when he hangs up. Because you're already scared, and I didn't want to add to it. He's at his desk, files spread out in front of him, and he looks exhausted. I'm handling it. By doing what? By making it clear that whoever's doing this is playing a dangerous game. He leans back in his chair, rubs his eyes. Marco traced. The courier service to a shell company linked to the Marconi family. Not proof, but enough for me to make a call. What kind of call? The kind where I remind Enzo that targeting civilians, especially mine, breaks the rules we all agreed to follow. That if he has a problem with me, he brings it to me directly instead of sending flowers and bricks. And if he doesn't listen, Dante's quiet for a long moment. Then I make him listen. I don't ask what that means. I don't want to know. The charity gala is black tie, held at a museum in Manhattan with views of the park, and enough security that even Elena relaxes slightly. Dante's wearing a tuxedo that probably cost more than my first car, and I'm in a dress he had delivered that afternoon. Midnight blue silk that fits like it was made for me, because it probably was. You didn't have to do this, I said when I opened the box. I wanted to. You're meeting Enzo Marconi tonight. You should feel powerful. I do feel powerful. The dress helps. So does the fact that Elena's somewhere in the crowd, armed and watching. Enzo Marconi is shorter than I expected, maybe 5'9", with silver hair and a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. He's holding court near the bar, surrounded by men in expensive suits who laugh at his jokes like their lives depend on it. Dante's hand is on my lower back as we approach, steady and grounding. "You don't have to do this," he murmurs. "Say the word, and we leave." "I'm doing this." I square my shoulders, lift my chin, and walk straight up to Enzo Marconi, like I have every right to be there. "Mr. Marconi." I extend my hand, keeping my voice steady. "I'm Natalia Rossi, the woman you've been terrorizing to hurt my fiancé." The conversation around us dies. Enzo's smile freezes, then widens, and he takes my hand, brings it to his lips like this is a society event and not a confrontation. "Ms. Rossi, I've heard so much about you." "I'm sure you have, especially since you sent me dead roses this morning." I don't pull my hand away. I let him hold it. Let him feel how steady I am. "Here's the thing, Mr. Marconi. I don't have an army. I don't have power or connections or anything you'd consider a threat. But I have something you don't. Dante's loyalty. And he'll burn your empire to protect me. So I have to ask, is your wounded pride worth that?" Enzo's eyes narrow, assessing. The men around him have gone silent, waiting for his reaction. Then he laughs. It's genuine, surprised, almost delighted. "You've got spine, girl. I'll give you that." He releases my hand, steps back. "Tell Caruso we're even. No more flowers, no more bricks. Consider it a wedding gift." "That's generous of you." "It's practical." He takes a sip of his drink, his expression thoughtful. "Starting a war over a woman isn't good business, even if she did make me look like an idiot in front of my men." "You made yourself look like an idiot by targeting civilians." Another laugh. "Fair enough. Enjoy your evening, Ms. Rossi, and congratulations on the engagement. You're marrying a dangerous man. But I think you already know that." We walk away, Dante's hand never leaving my back, and I don't start shaking until we're in the elevator headed down to the car. "That was incredibly stupid," Dante says, but his voice is full of something like awe. "That was necessary." I lean against him, letting him take my weight. He needed to know I'm not afraid of him. You should be. He's killed people for less. So have you. Dante doesn't argue. He just holds me while the city drops away below us, and when we get home, he makes love to me slow and reverent, like I'm something precious he almost lost. Later, when we're tangled together in sheets that smell like us, he kisses my shoulder and says, "You terrify me sometimes." "Good. Keeps you on your toes." "Talia." "Dante." I turn to face him, trace the scar through his eyebrow. "I'm not going to be the woman who hides while you handle everything. We're partners. That means I get to fight my own battles sometimes, even if it scares you." "I know." He catches my hand, presses a kiss to my palm. "I just wish your battles didn't involve mafia bosses who could have you killed." "You won't let that happen." "No, I won't." It's not a promise, it's a fact, absolute and immovable. I fall asleep feeling safer than I have in days. The video surfaces on Wednesday, 2 days before I'm supposed to start culinary school. It's security footage from Marcello's, the night of the incident, but it's been edited. Cut and spliced to make it look like I provoked Ryan, like I said something that justified him pouring beer on me. It's a lie, a complete fabrication, but it's convincing enough that people believe it. The comments turn vicious within hours. "I'm a gold digger who staged the whole thing to trap Dante. I'm a liar who wanted attention. I'm a manipulative bitch who got exactly what I deserved. Someone starts a petition to have me banned from attending culinary school. Someone else posts. My address, my old address, thank God, not Dante's, and suggests people pay me a visit. I watch it happen from the safety of Dante's penthouse, Elena standing guard by the door, and I feel the walls closing in. We can sue, Dante says, pacing the living room with his phone in hand. Defamation, harassment, whatever sticks. Marta's already drafting papers. It won't matter. My voice sounds hollow, distant. The damage is done. Even if we prove it's fake, people will believe what they want to believe. Then we find who made it and we, what? Hurt them? Make them disappear? I stand crossing to the window. That's not going to fix this, Dante. That's just going to make it worse. So what do you want me to do? His frustration bleeds through, sharp and desperate. Let them destroy you? Let them tear apart everything you've built because they can? My voice breaks. I swallow hard, try again. I want to feel like myself again. I want to stop being the girl in the video, the victim everyone's analyzing and judging and using for their own agenda. I want my body to feel like mine. He goes still. Talia, I haven't let you touch me. Not really. Not since that night. The words come out in a rush, confession and plea, because every time you do, I remember standing there, soaked and frozen, and I feel small, powerless, like I'm not. Stop. He's in front of me now, hands gentle on my shoulders. You are not small. You are not powerless. You are the strongest person I know, and what happened to you doesn't change that. Then help me remember. I look up at him, and I know my eyes are wet, but I don't care. Help me feel powerful again. He studies my face for a long moment, reading what I need, what I'm asking for. Then he nods. Come with me. He leads me to the bathroom, the one with the massive soaking tub and the view of the city, and he starts running the water. He adds oil, eucalyptus and something else I don't recognize, and lights candles along the edge, turning the space into something soft and sacred. Let me care for you first, he says, and there's no room for argument in his voice. He undresses me slowly, a ceremony more than urgency. Each button he unfastens is deliberate, careful, and when he slides my shirt off my shoulders, he presses a kiss there, warm and grounding. This is yours, he murmurs, his lips against my collarbone. This was never theirs to take. He continues down, my arms, my ribs, my hips, marking each place with touch and words, until I'm bare and shaking and so full of feeling I think I might break from it. Into the water, amore. I step into the tub, sink down into heat that makes me gasp. He kneels beside it, fully clothed, and reaches for a washcloth. You don't have to. Let me. So I do. I let him wash my arms, my shoulders, my neck where the beer dripped and dried. He's thorough, gentle, and with each pass of the cloth he says something. You are fierce here, he says, touching my collarbone. You are graceful here, along my wrist. You are mine here, because you choose to be, over my heart. By the time he's finished, I'm crying, not from sadness but from relief, from the weight of shame finally lifting. Get in with me, I whisper. He strips efficiently, no ceremony now, and slides into the water behind me. His arms come around my waist, solid and sure, and I lean back against him, letting him hold me. I'm angry, I say after a moment. I'm so angry that they did this to me, that they took something simple, me doing my job, and turned it into a spectacle, that I can't move forward without dragging this behind me. Then be angry. You're allowed. I want to feel powerful again. You are powerful. Then make me feel it. I turn in his arms, suddenly bold, hungry for something I can't quite name. Make me remember that my body is mine, that I'm not what they tried to make me. His eyes darken, and he nods slowly. Tell me what you need. I need you. I kiss him, hard, teeth grazing his lower lip. I need to be in control, to take what I want and know that it's my choice. Then take it, he says, voice low and rough. I'm yours, Talia, all of me. Take what you need, I do. I climb into his lap, water sloshing over the sides of the tub, and I kiss him like I'm reclaiming something stolen. His hands come to my hips, steadying but not guiding, letting me set the pace. Tell me I'm in control. I demand against his mouth. You're in control. Always. His grip tightens, just enough to ground me. Take what you need from me. I'm yours. I move against him, urgent and desperate, chasing sensation and power and the feeling of being whole. He lets me lead, his touch steady at my waist, holding me together as I come apart. You're terrifying, he says, his voice strained. You're beautiful. You're everything. I don't slow down. I take what I need. Power, control, healing. And he gives it freely, his hands reverent even as his breathing turns ragged. No one will ever make you small again, he says, and it sounds like a vow. I swear it on my life. The words break something inside me. I shatter, gasping his name, and he follows seconds later, his face buried in my neck, holding me like I'm the only solid thing in a world that won't stop spinning. We stay in the cooling water, breathing hard, tangled together. I touch his face, trace the line of his jaw. Thank you, I whisper. For what? For letting me lead. For not trying to fix it, just being here. You always lead, amore. He kisses my forehead, gentle and sure. I just follow where you take me. He lifts me out of the tub eventually, wraps me in a heated towel, carries me to bed even though I insist I can walk. He tucks me in, slides in beside me and pulls me close. I'm okay now, I say, curling into his side. Better than okay. You were always okay. His hand strokes my hair, slow and soothing. But I'm glad I could help you feel it. I fall asleep wrapped in him, warm and safe and whole. Culinary school starts on a Tuesday that feels like a fresh beginning. I walk through the doors of the Institute of Culinary Education with Elena 3 steps behind me. And for the first time in 2 weeks, I feel like I can breathe. The kitchen is industrial and gleaming, all stainless steel and organization that makes my hands itch to start working. My classmates are a mix of ages and backgrounds, a former banker who decided to chase her passion, a kid fresh out of high school with his father's restaurant waiting for him, a woman in her 50s who's been cooking for her family for decades and wants to make it official. No one recognizes me, or if they do, they're too polite to say anything. Chef Moreau, our instructor, is French and terrifying in the way only classically trained chefs can be. She runs us through basic knife skills on the first day, circling the room like a hawk, correcting grips and angles with a sharp tap of her wooden spoon. When she gets to me, she pauses, watching as I julienne a carrot with quick, efficient strokes. You've worked in kitchens before, she says. It's not a question. Yes, chef. 6 years, front of house and prep. Show me your brunoise. I dice an onion into perfect 1/4 centimeter cubes, muscle memory taking over. She nods once, approving, and moves on. It feels like winning something. By the end of the first week, I'm exhausted in the best way. My feet ache, my hands smell like garlic and onions despite 3 washings, and I fall asleep the moment my head hits the pillow. Dante finds me every night curled up in his t-shirts, and he doesn't complain. Just tucks me in closer, kisses my temple, and lets me sleep. How's school? He asks one morning over espresso. Perfect. I steal a bite of his toast. Chef Moreau is brutal, but I'm learning so much. And no one cares who I am. They just care if I can make a proper hollandaise. Can you? I can now. I grin at him. Want me to make you eggs Benedict this weekend? I want you to make me anything. The first real threat comes during my 2nd week, when I'm walking to the subway after class. Elena's with me, always 3 steps back, and I'm reviewing notes on sous vide technique when a car pulls up to the curb. It's not Dante's car. I know his cars, the town car, the SUV, the Audi he drives himself on weekends. This is a black sedan with tinted windows, and the moment it stops, my skin prickles. Elena moves before I do, stepping between me and the car, one hand inside her jacket. Keep walking, she says, voice low and firm. Don't look back. Elena, walk, now. I walk. Fast, not quite running, my heart hammering against my ribs. Behind me I hear car doors opening, voices, male, multiple, and Elena's sharp response. She's not available. Move along. We just want to talk. You can talk to her lawyer. Move along. I glance back despite her instructions. There are 3 of them, suits that don't quite fit right, expressions that say they're used to getting what they want. One of them is reaching for Elena, and she sidesteps smoothly, her hand coming out of her jacket with something. Mace, maybe, or a taser. "Last warning," she says. "Move along or I call the police and Mr. Caruso. Your choice how this ends." At Dante's name, they hesitate. Exchange glances. Then they get back in the car and drive off. Elena stays on high alert until we're in the subway station, surrounded by crowds. Then she pulls out her phone and calls Dante. "Sir, we had an incident. 3 men, black sedan, no plates visible. They tried to approach Ms. Rossi outside the school. I deterred them, but you should know." She listens, then hands me the phone. "He wants to talk to you." "I'm fine," I say before he can ask. "Elena handled it. Who were they?" His voice is controlled, but I hear the edge underneath. "I don't know." "They didn't say. Did they touch you?" "No, they didn't get close enough." "Good." A pause. "I'm sending more security. Marco will meet you at the next station. Dante, I don't need—" "You do?" "And I do." "Please, Talia, let me do this." I close my eyes, leaning against the subway pole as the train rocks beneath me. Okay, but I'm not quitting school. I would never ask you to. Marco meets us at Union Square, a solid wall of a man with kind eyes, and a concealed carry permit that Elena confirms with a nod. From then on, I have 2 shadows instead of 1. It should feel suffocating. Instead, it feels necessary. The edited video gets debunked 3 days later, when Marcello's releases the full, unedited footage to the press. It shows exactly what happened. Ryan pouring beer on me unprovoked, Dante stepping in, me standing there frozen and humiliated. The internet does its thing. Apologies flood my social media. The petition to ban me from culinary school is taken down, replaced by a petition demanding Ryan be banned from every restaurant in New York. Someone starts a GoFundMe to cover my tuition, and I have to release a statement asking them to donate to service worker charities instead. I don't need the money, I write, but there are thousands of servers and bartenders and kitchen staff who do. If you want to support me, support them. The fund raises $60,000 in 2 days. We split it between 3 organizations, and I get thank you letters from people who've been harassed, assaulted, degraded, and never had anyone step in. It makes the whole nightmare feel like it mattered. Dante finds me crying over the letters one night, curled up on the couch with a glass of wine I haven't touched. What's wrong? He sits beside me, pulling me into his lap. Nothing's wrong. Everything's... I wipe my eyes, laugh wetly. People are good. Despite everything, people are good. He reads one of the letters over my shoulder. A single mom who works 3 jobs to support her kids and just received a grant to cover childcare so she can take a bartending certification course. You did this, he says quietly. No. You did. You stepped in when no one else would. You made people pay attention. We did this. Together. I kiss him for that, soft and grateful, and he holds me while I finish reading every single letter. Chef Laurent reaches out in my 3rd week. He's the head chef at Marcello's, the one who trained in Rome, won awards, built a reputation as one of Brooklyn's best. His offer still stands. Apprentice in his kitchen. Learn from him. Get real-world experience while I'm in school. I stare at the email for 10 minutes before showing it to Dante. What do you think? I ask. I think it's your decision. Helpful. He sets down his coffee, turns to face me fully. Do you want to work in that restaurant again? I don't know. I chew my bottom lip. Part of me does. Chef Laurent is incredible, and learning from him would be... It's an opportunity I might not get again. But part of me can't imagine walking back through those doors without feeling like that girl again, the one who got beer poured on her head while everyone watched. Then don't. But, Talia... He takes my hands, holding them between his. There will be other chefs, other kitchens, other opportunities. You don't owe Marcello's anything. If you want to work there because it's the right move for your career, do it. But don't do it because you think you have to prove something. You already proved it. You survived. You moved forward. That's enough. I think about it for 2 more days. Then I email Chef Laurent and politely decline. Instead, I reach out to 3 other restaurants, smaller places, family-owned, the kind where the chef knows every customer by name. One of them responds within an hour. A small Italian place in Park Slope, run by a woman named Rosa, who's been cooking for 40 years and needs an extra set of hands on weekends. I start the following Saturday. Rosa takes one look at me and says, "You're the girl from the video." My stomach drops. Yes. Good. That means you know how to handle difficult customers. She hands me an apron. Let's see if you can handle difficult sauce. Carbonara from scratch. Show me, I make carbonara. She tastes it, nods, and puts me to work. By the end of the night, my feet are screaming and my hands are burned in 3 places from hot pans, and I've never been happier. The lawsuit threat resurfaces 4 weeks in, when Ryan's lawyer, a different one this time, since the first got disbarred, files a new complaint. This one claims emotional distress, defamation, and damages related to his lost employment opportunities. Apparently, getting outed as the man who poured beer on a waitress for fun doesn't look good on a resume. "Let me handle it," Dante says when I tell him. "How?" "Legally this time. Marta's already drafting a countersuit for harassment and attempted witness tampering. We have everything documented. The bribery attempt, the threats, the edited video. Ryan's lawyer knows this. He's bluffing, hoping we'll settle to avoid more publicity. And if he's not bluffing, then we go to court and bury him." Dante's voice is matter-of-fact, like he's discussing the weather. "I have the best lawyers in the city. He has a recent graduate desperate for a big case. It won't even be close. The countersuit is filed Monday morning. By Tuesday afternoon, Ryan's lawyer withdraws the complaint and releases a statement apologizing for any inconvenience. We win. It doesn't feel like a victory so much as an ending, the final punctuation on a sentence. That's been dragging on too long. "It's over," I say that night, staring at the news article on my phone. "It's over," Dante confirms, pulling me close. "No more lawsuits. No more threats. Just us. Just us," I repeat, and for the first time in weeks, I believe it, the marriage. Conversation happens on a Sunday morning in early May. I'm making sfogliatelle from scratch, a recipe Rosa taught me that takes 3 days and more patience than I thought I had, and Dante's reading the paper at the kitchen island. Same routine as every weekend. "I want to get married next month," he says, without looking up from the sports section. I nearly drop the dough. "What?" "Next month. Small ceremony, just family and close friends. I don't want to wait anymore." "Dante, I know we talked about waiting until you graduate. I know you want to do things in a certain order, prove you can build your career first, but I don't want to wait." He sets down the paper, finally looking at me. "I want to call you my wife. I want the world to know you chose me, permanently. I want to wake up every day knowing we're not engaged anymore, we're married." My heart is racing. "Why now?" "Because I almost lost you." His voice cracks slightly, and it's that vulnerability that gets me. "Not literally, but I watched you get humiliated, threatened, torn apart by strangers, and every second of it I was terrified you'd decide I wasn't worth it, that loving me wasn't worth the cost. And you stayed. You chose me every single day. I want to choose you back, officially, in front of everyone who matters." I wipe flour off my hands, cross to him, cup his face. "You choose me every day already." "You don't need a ceremony for that. I need it for me. Dante, please." His hands cover mine, holding them against his face. "Marry me next month. Small ceremony, whatever you want. But marry me. Let me call you my wife." I could argue. I could point out that we planned to wait, that I wanted to establish my career first, that rushing into marriage after everything that's happened seems impulsive. But I don't want to wait either. "Okay," I whisper. "Okay? Okay." I kiss him, soft and sure. "Let's get married next month. But I'm keeping Rossi as my middle name. Natalia Rossi Caruso. Both halves of me." "Perfect." He pulls me into his lap, holding me like I'm something precious. "Just like you." We get married on a Saturday in June at a small cathedral in Brooklyn, the one where Dante's grandmother had her wedding 60 years ago. The guest list is tiny. Dante's immediate family, a handful of friends, Rosa and Elena and Marco who've become part of my daily life, and the guys from my culinary school class who insisted on coming because we're a family now. I wear a simple dress, Ivory silk. Nothing fancy. Bought off the rack because I refuse to spend $10,000 on something I'll wear once. Dante wears a tailored suit that probably did cost $10,000. But he looks so good in it I can't bring myself to care. His grandmother cries through the entire ceremony. So does Rosa. So do I, when Dante says his vows in Italian and then translates them for me. You are my home, my heart, my reason. I will protect you, honor you, and love you until my last breath. I keep mine simple. You saw me when I was invisible. You made me feel powerful when I felt small. You're my partner, my safe place, my forever. I choose you, today and always. We kiss, and the small crowd cheers, and for the first time in months, everything feels right. The reception is at Dante's flagship restaurant, the one I'll work in full-time after graduation, the one he built from nothing and turned into a Brooklyn institution. We eat family style, passing platters of pasta and vegetables and meat, drinking wine that costs more than I want to know, laughing until my face hurts. At some point, Dante pulls me onto the dance floor for our first dance, and the DJ plays something slow in Italian that I don't recognize, but he does, singing the words softly against my temple. What's it about? I ask. Coming home? Cheesy. You love it. I do. I really do. The semester ends with final exams that test everything we've learned. Knife skills, sauces, timing, plating, the ability to work under pressure without falling apart. I'm assigned a 3-course meal to prepare in 2 hours. Butternut squash soup with crispy sage, pan-seared duck breast with cherry gastrique and roasted vegetables, and chocolate soufflé with raspberry coulis. I nail the soup. The duck is perfect. Crispy skin, medium rare center, sauce that balances sweet and tart. The soufflé rises like a miracle and doesn't fall when Chef Moreau opens the oven door to check it. She tastes each course in silence, making notes on her clipboard, her expression giving nothing away. Finally, she looks up. You have talent, Ms. Caruso. And discipline. That's rare. Thank you, chef. Don't thank me. Prove me right. She marks something on her sheet, then dismisses me with a nod. I pass with the highest marks in the class. Dante takes me to dinner to celebrate. Not at his restaurant, but at a tiny sushi place in the East Village where the chef knows him by name and makes us omakase. That's so good I nearly cry into my sake. I'm proud of you, he says, reaching across the table to take my hand. I didn't do anything special, just pass my classes. You survived a nightmare, rebuilt your confidence, and excelled in one of the most demanding programs in the city. That's not just anything, amore. That's everything. I squeeze his hand, feeling the weight of the ring, his ring now, matching bands we picked out together. Thank you for believing in me. I'll always believe in you, even when you don't believe in yourself. The job at Dante's restaurant starts the following Monday. I'm not head chef. That's Chef Vincent, a man who trained in Paris and doesn't suffer fools. But I'm on the line, cooking alongside professionals, and he treats me the same as everyone else, with high expectations and zero tolerance for mistakes. It's exactly what I need. I work evenings and weekends, spending my days taking advanced courses at the Institute and my nights in the controlled chaos of the kitchen. It's exhausting and exhilarating, and somewhere in the middle of prep and service and cleanup, I realize I'm happy. Not just content, not just okay. Actually, genuinely happy. Dante still comes to the restaurant most nights, sitting at the bar with a drink and watching the kitchen through the pass. He doesn't interfere, doesn't pull rank, just watches me work with an expression that makes my cheeks flush even after months of marriage. You're staring. I tell him one night during a rare lull. I'm appreciating. You're distracting me. Good. He grins, shameless. Means you're thinking about me. I'm always thinking about you. Even better. Ryan sends a letter 6 months after the wedding. It's short, handwritten, and arrives at the restaurant addressed to me. Dear Natalia, I'm writing to apologize. Not because my lawyer told me to, not because I want anything from you, just because I'm sorry. What I did was wrong, cruel. I was drunk and stupid and thought I was being funny, and I didn't think about you as a person, just as someone serving me, someone I could treat however I wanted. I've been in therapy since everything happened, working on the drinking, the entitlement, the whole mess of who I was. I'm not making excuses. I just wanted you to know I'm trying to be better. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't think I deserve it, but I wanted you to know I see what I did. I understand why it was wrong, and I'm sorry. I hope you're doing well. Ryan, I read it 3 times. Sitting in the office after my shift, still in my chef's whites. Dante finds me there, the letter in my hand. What's that? I hand it to him. He reads it in silence, his jaw tight, then sets it down carefully. Do you want me to respond? He asks. To him? No. I take the letter back, fold it, put it in my bag. But I think I need to sit with this. He apologized. That doesn't fix what happened, but it matters. I think it matters. Do you forgive him? I don't know. I lean back in the chair, exhausted. I don't think forgiveness is something I owe him, but I can accept his apology and move forward. That feels right. Then that's what you do. Dante pulls me up, wraps his arms around me. You're allowed to decide what healing looks like, Amore. No one else. I don't respond to the letter. But I don't throw it away either. I keep it. A reminder that people can grow, that accountability matters, that sometimes the hardest thing is not holding on to anger, but letting it go. The Memorial Garden opens in October, 1 year after the incident. It's a small space in Brooklyn, tucked between buildings, with benches and flowers and a plaque that reads, "In honor of service workers everywhere, your dignity, your labor, your worth." Dante funded it quietly. No press release, no fanfare. Just a check and a phone call to the city, and suddenly there's a place where people can sit and remember that the work they do matters. We visit on the anniversary, just the 2 of us. I place flowers at the base of the plaque. White roses this time, alive and beautiful, and I stand there for a long time, remembering the girl who stood frozen in a restaurant while everyone laughed. She's still part of me. But she's not all of me. Thank you, I whisper to Dante. For what? For seeing me when I was invisible. For making me feel powerful when I felt small. For being my partner through all of this. Impossible, he says, pulling me close. You were always the brightest thing in any room. I just made sure everyone else noticed. We stay until the sun sets, watching the city move around us, and when we finally leave, I don't look back. By the time winter arrives, I'm sous chef at Dante's restaurant, second in command under Chef Vincent. It's a promotion I earned. Late nights perfecting recipes, early mornings prepping ingredients, weeks of proving I can handle the pressure without breaking. The night I get promoted, Dante takes me back to the corner booth where this all started, the one he used to sit in every Friday while I worked at Marcello's. Remember when you told those drunk guys to go to hell? He asks, grinning, and you smiled and said, "Take me there." I shake my head. That was so cheesy. But it worked. It did. I reach across the table, take his hand. You know what I realized? Hell isn't a place. It's what we went through. The humiliation, the threats, the scrutiny. And we came out the other side together. So I did go to hell. We both did. But we also found heaven. Right here. I gesture around the restaurant. Our restaurant, our life. The future we built from nothing. This is heaven. Then I'll stay here forever, he says, and kisses my hand like a promise. Sunday mornings become our ritual. I make sfogliatelle from scratch, he makes coffee, and we sit at the kitchen island reading the paper and arguing about whether the restaurant critic who trashed our risotto has any idea what she's talking about. She called it pedestrian, he says, offended on my behalf even though I didn't make it. It was pedestrian. Chef Vincent used too much butter and not enough salt. You would have made it better. Obviously. I steal his croissant. But that's why I'm sous chef and he's head chef. I have room to grow. You'll be head chef within 2 years. Are you offering me a promotion? I'm stating a fact. He pulls me into his lap, kissing my neck. You're talented, driven, and ruthless about quality. You'll run that kitchen soon enough. And what will you do when I'm running the kitchen and you're just the owner? Support you. Brag about you. Remind everyone that the brilliant chef is my wife. Modest, honest. We laugh. And it feels like the easiest thing in the world. The final piece comes in spring, when a documentary crew reaches out about doing a piece on service workers and dignity in the restaurant industry. They want to interview me, feature the memorial garden, talk about what happened and what's changed. I almost say no. Then I think about the letters I received, the thank yous from people who finally felt seen, and I say yes. The interview airs on a Tuesday. I watch it with Dante, curled up on the couch, and I barely recognize the woman on screen. She's confident, articulate, clear-eyed about what happened but not defined by it. "That's you," Dante says when it's over. "That's who you always were." The rest of the world just needed to catch up. The documentary wins an award. I'm invited to speak at conferences, write op-eds, consult on workplace dignity initiatives. I say yes to some, no to others, always making sure my first priority is the kitchen, because that's where I belong. Not on stages or in interviews, but in the heat and chaos of service, creating something beautiful with my hands. 5 years after the incident, the restaurant gets its first Michelin star. I'm head chef by then, having taken over when Chef Vincent retired, and the night we get the news, I stand in the kitchen with my team and cry. "We did this," I tell them, "all of us, together." Dante's waiting outside when service ends, leaning against his car with a bouquet of sunflowers, my favorite, the ones he brought to Marcello's when he was trying to convince me to have dinner with him. "Congratulations, Chef Caruso," he says, handing them over. "Chef Rossi Caruso," I correct, and he grins. My mistake. "Congratulations, Chef Rossi Caruso. Michelin star at 29. Not bad for a girl who poured beer on herself for attention." I swat his arm. "That's not funny." "It's a little funny. It's really not." He pulls me close, and I let him, resting my head against his chest while the city moves around us. "I'm proud of you," he says quietly. "Not because of the star. Because of who you are. Because you took the worst night of your life and turned it into something that matters. I couldn't have done it without you. Yes, you could have, but I'm glad you didn't have to." We stand there until my hands stop shaking, until the adrenaline fades, until all that's left is us and the life we built, and the knowledge that we survived the fire and came out stronger. "Take me home," I whisper. "Always, amore. Always."